Senator Wetangula.
Mr. Speaker, I note the foreclosure in your statement that the no is in capital letters. Mr. Speaker, we all want to participate in the measures to control the spread of this virus. But we need also, Mr. Speaker, to be brought to speed and knowledge on what steps are being taken. A close down and a suspension of sittings is not in itself a measure that is good enough to control. I want to urge, Mr. Speaker, I did not know that Parliament was involved in arriving at the decision. I'm happy to learn that you are, because many of us were very surprised that there was a direction from the executive on how Parliament should operate. If you are involved, that allays our fears of possible emasculation of the Houses of Parliament. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge, I don't see the Committee of Health chair here, but I believe that this and whatever we say here, through the majority leader, can reach the executive. We have closed down 5 counties. What else are we doing apart from closing down? One would have expected then the government to carry out massive compulsory testing and vaccinations of residents of these counties as a positive measure in controlling the spread of this virus. Because when we close down Nairobi, Nakuru, Kiambu, Machakos, Kajiado, we literally have locked in about 10 million Kenyans, if not slightly more. What next after that? We were given a clarification that within these 5 counties, you can move from Machakos to Kiambu through Nairobi, wherever, without any hindrance. Then it means we have zoned off an area and then created a situation for rapid spread. Because if these are the areas that are most affected, and we are not guaranteeing people to stay where they are, I will move from where I live in Karen to Mwaura's Ruiru and spread the virus if I have it, and vice versa. And this is not helpful, Mr. Speaker. I want to urge you, Mr. Speaker, as the titular head of this House, to reach out to the executive and find out whether there are measures, A, to mass test everybody, 2, to vaccinate everybody, 3, and more important, Mr. Speaker, eateries have been closed. The presumption is that people will eat from their homes. But there are people whose livelihoods are dependent on running these small businesses called eateries. There was a fund to support coronavirus victims in terms of economic terms. I had a bishop yesterday, Mr. Speaker, who was addressing the president and the nation, saying that a woman called Mwihaki told him that she was running a small eatery that is now closed. Her husband, who was living on her, has run away from her. She has a child. She has no job. She can't live. And there are so many Mwihakis in these 5 counties, Mr. Speaker. How are they going to survive? The young single mothers who serve in restaurants, bars, and hotels, how are they going to feed their families? The landlords in this country are very ruthless. No landlord will listen to any tenant that because of the close down, you will not pay your rent. They will evict them. There are even crude landlords who will go and remove doors from dwelling houses and put on padlocks that nobody can open. we must have measures, and I want to urge the president, just as his measures may be well-founded and in good faith, but a lot more must be done. And my friend, the majority leader who represents the executive in this House, must tell us in very clear terms, what else are we doing apart from closure, so that we can help Kenyans? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.